Oh, that was a long day. See these little fellas right here? I got these today because I was flying. I used to have my like Beats or whatever they were. I think mine were Beats or JBLs. Anyway, the kids got playing with them and broke a wire in them, I think, and I can't hear them. So I bought these, and I don't know if I'm sold on them. They seem all right. They're a little invasive for me, but it works good because you can talk on the phone with the headphones. I couldn't, so I guess they're better that way. So we're gonna try these out and see if sometimes you get an echo from stuff in the room. Maybe you still will, but for now, I'm gonna leave these in. So long day today. I got up this morning. So yesterday, race globetrotting, big win. She was awesome. Got a little bite to eat after. Drove 3 hours back to Cleveland. Stayed at the hotel at the airport. That was a good. I like doing that because I can leave my car parked there for a small amount of money. In this day and age, it's very hard to leave your car anywhere close to the airport, especially when you're only going for the day. So I flew out of Cleveland and went Cleveland, Charlotte, Philadelphia, because that's how we get to Cleveland. That's how we get to Philadelphia. We go to Charlotte first. Everybody knows that. So that was my morning. I got to the racetrack around 1 o'clock. It was raining all day. I knew it was going to be muddy, but whatever. I got in my frame of mind. I was going to be, just going to race in the mud, and that's that. So I got there, looked at the program, saw that the 3-horse was a bit of a layover. Oh, goodness. 3-horse was a layover. Maybe we could leave, get away in the 2. Well, you know that he's not going to rush the 3 out of the gate. The kid, Andy McCarthy's brother, Todd. The McCarthys are smart drivers. You know what's going to happen. The 1, 2, and 4 can leave. They're the horses to beat. Somebody's going to land down on the front. Toddy's just going to keep coming with his horse, dance over to the front, and nail in the coffin type deal. I get out of the gate good, but she put a couple of steps in, and George Napolitano pushed through with the second favorite. I think I was the third favorite. So I had to retreat to the 4-hole. As I retreated to the 4-hole, 3-horse floats to the front. Game over, right? I'm not coming. Nobody's moving coming to the half. Todd he's gone. 2 horses gapping the whole way. So I come first over, getting into the last turn. I clear down on the 2-hole. Hold on for second. Biggest race of her life. 56 in the 4 in the mud. 28 and 4 on the end of it. Raced awesome. Iglarium's going to be some kind of filly next year. There's not really a whole lot left for her this year. So we're going to put her away. Fresh as a daisy. Sharp as a tack. Going to the field. We do have some fillies looking to polish off their end of the year in that class at the Meadows. That's my girl. We got Rose Run Why Not floating around up there. And they're not PA horses, so she would get in ahead of them, but we can win that race next year too. Not really a big deal. So Iglarium is going. I guess what we could do, we could wait. The problem with that non-winners of 2 class is it's PA restricted. So if you're not a PA horse, the only way That's My Girl or Rose Run Why Not get in, and they do get in, but the only way they do is because they need a horse. So you kind of take what you're given, and that's that type deal. Anyway, now that I say that out loud, we can wait. But Iglarium more than likely is going out, which is fine. Put her away fresh. This thing's going to be a killer next year. She got 2 viable starts under her belt. The one at Mohawk, I pushed James to drive her a little tough because I wanted to see if she could do in the Liberty Bell, which she wasn't quite ready to do. James still thought she was, but not in the way that we needed her to be, so we didn't put her in. Take her over to the Meadows, jogs. Week off, take her here to Philadelphia, second and 55 in the mud. Trots in 56 and 4. First over, mind you, also. So a big mile from her. So I get back on the plane, and of course, when you're coming home from Philadelphia, the only way to do that is to stop in Chicago. So I had a big long layover. Steve Palermo always jokes with me. He hates connecting flights. Now, this was my first flight of the year, so it was a little odd, little difficult, but at the same time, it still felt the same, right? I wore my mask, and we got a little something to eat. Now, just in the middle of what I'm about to tell you, this is an important segue. I told you guys that Jason was sick for the last week. It turns out Jason does have COVID-19. He's been quarantining now for a week. I haven't seen him virtually. I haven't laid eyes on Jason for the most part since Delaware. So I'm in no danger. But everybody at the burn's going to have to get tested and test negative before they're allowed back in. Kind of puts a little pressure on everybody tomorrow, right? We get those 4 horses in the stake races, but I have raced horses before, so I'm going to go to the barn tomorrow. I want to go with the babies anyway. We'll get some people in to help out tomorrow. We'll patch everything up. I mean, it's race night. It's not the end of the world. The preparation for those races is the difficult part, and everybody at the barn has been a professional. So we'll call it a bump in the road, and a real bump for Jason. The poor bugger. He's tough. He told me the one thing that was important was none of his breathing. He doesn't have any breathing issues. Little coughing, a little bit of coughing, but mostly throwing up and a headache. I think he's got through the worst of it now, and he's coming out the other side. So, good for him. I know it's probably a scary feeling for him. And I'd put it on Facebook. Put it on Facebook tonight, just because the worst thing about all this is the misinformation that gets spread, right? No, first off, I wanted to put it out there because I know tomorrow morning, if I didn't put something out there, tomorrow morning everybody in Canada would know that Jason McGuinness had COVID-19, and they would all have their own story of where he got it and who had it from him. So I wanted to make sure we cleared the table, just so everybody knows what's going on. Yes, Jason got it. He got it from somewhere. He doesn't know. Could have been a million places. Did I take it back to Ontario with me last week? No. I went from Pennsylvania to Lexington for a week. There's 10 days. I didn't see anybody around here. And then went home to Ontario. So for 10, 12, about 16 days, I didn't lay eyes on Jason McGuinness or really anybody in Ohio, mostly since Delaware. And then I went straight home to Ontario. Now, somebody, Amy's saying, well, you raced some people at the farm obviously must have known. Jason must have told people before he told me, maybe. But, she was worried, well, you raced Oso Pine and changing of the guard. Well, first off, that was after I came back from Ontario. Secondly, Jason was smart enough when he was ill to stay away from the barn. Jason had been about a week out of the barn, and again, the main thing about our horses is just to take good care of them and maintain them. We have a great staff. So Jason wasn't at the barn since last week. When I came here to race Oso Pine and changing in the guard, there was no Jason, and I was at the paddock the whole night. I never went back to the barn. I had no reason to. So I came from the meadows, got out of my car, parked my car by the paddock, got changed there. I didn't even get changed. I still had my suit on from the meadows. Jumped on and off the horses right there, and then left. So there was no interaction with Jason in any way, shape, or form. I'm fine, but the caretakers and Kirby and everybody are going to have to get tested. I know one of the young ladies that works for us went to emergency tonight. I guess in the States you can go to the emergency room and get a snap test. If you've been around somebody that has tested positive, they can rush your results. I assume that's what a snap test means. So she'll have the answers. They said if she's positive, they'll let her know tomorrow right away. If she's negative, she'll probably get a voicemail on Monday or something, or maybe an email. I don't know. So I don't know if that's sufficient enough for the Ohio State Racing Commission. That's up to them. Obviously, we want to adhere to all the rules and regulations. And before anybody in Ohio says, well, dirty Canadians coming over here. Jason McGuinness hasn't been in Canada since May or June. And if he got it right here in your state. So it's obviously it's not a laughing matter, but at the same time, Jason's feeling better now. Looks he's coming out the other end. So good for him. Obviously, probably a scary experience for him, but Jason's a trooper and he'll be fine. So we'll be without Jason McGuinness tomorrow night for the consolations, but at the same time, I will be there. We'll get it all taken care of and all done. So that is my little segue from the airports. Obviously, it meant a little more to me today traveling. I got my mask extra tight, and I'm looking around at everybody. I did have a connecting flight because I do like to eat. And now, You know what? I've always told you guys this, and I know it bothers Steve, but I do like connecting flights, especially one like today where I flew from Philadelphia to Chicago. Nice little 3 hours. I can walk around, figure out where I want to eat. Just kind of be left alone, gather my thoughts, make some notes, look over some sale results. I'll get to that in a second, and some sales that are coming up tomorrow. So a great run over the last 72 hours. I'm going to be reaching out to some of you guys tomorrow afternoon. We did buy 2 horses today in the hoof bid sale. I'll explain in just a moment. But great. Globetrotting was great. Probably her and Spirit of Dio will be heading to Indiana now soon. She races on Monday. Northern Blizzard, last start of the year, fantastic win. Great job by James to drive him. Great job by Johnny McKinnon and James. A good collaboration there to get this guy on the straight and narrow. Just a fresh set of eyes, I think, is all he needed. Certainly nothing against Harry. It's just the way it is. You get looking at a horse sometimes and you miss things. I do it. Everybody does it. It's human nature, and sometimes just a fresh set of eyes helps. So good job by our team to get Northern Blizzard back on track and get a win under him. Speaking of Harry, big win again tonight. No free lunch, just jogged, 53. He's coming in sharp into the Harvest Series. That'll be his last 2 starts of the year. I think it's a 1 elimination in a final or 2 in a final. I'm not sure. Either way, his last starts of the year will be the Harvest Series starting next week. Now, Brilliant Corners, we're going to call that a year for him. He was so hard on himself all throughout the winter and the spring. There's no doubt in my mind he's just a little tired. I was hoping, he wasn't used pretty hard in the summer. He'd be a little fresher in the fall. He'd struggle a little bit on the end of it tonight, so we'll cut him loose. He's all done for the year. Aglaire AM, as I said, all done for the year. Cavill Hanover was 4th tonight and looked like a monster. Again, tough to do any work out of the 7-hole. 4th out of the 7-hole and with decent trotters is always a good thing. So Cavill Hanover seems to be back on the straight and narrow. Now, we talked about the sales tomorrow. Somebody said, well, you didn't send out a sheet. And there wasn't really much to talk about, guys. When it comes to tomorrow, it's going to be value. Now, Mario and I talked about this. We're going to be in close contact tomorrow with the sales going on. It starts at 10:30. The bidding, it's for like 3-4 days, for London starts tomorrow. We know what horses we like, and if we find value, great. If we don't, we don't. That's what I was in search of today. Now, I forgot that the breeder of No Free Lunch and Adrenaline Rush, Daryl Kaplan, been good partners of us over the last 2 years. They had a horse in the hoof bid sale. I forgot all about it. So, let's get into that. This horse's name was Almost Their Boss. Now, nice video of this horse. We'll post this video. We'll post some pictures of Almost Their Boss. Sunshine Beach, if you'd asked me 3.5 weeks ago, hard no. Negative. But then it's pretty hard not. We have the fastest Sunshine Beach, I believe, 2-year-old this year. 51-3. He won again tonight. No free lunch. So I guess it's pretty hard for me to ban a stud when we have such a nice 2-year-old by him. We had some horses that I think the most frustrating part of Sunshine Beaches is a lot of them leave you feeling like they're underachievers, right? And that's a frustrating feeling as a trainer and a driver. No Free Lunch has been a nice horse for us, so it's pretty hard for me to say, no, I don't want any more Sunshine Beaches, especially a good-looking colt like this. So let's get right into him. His name's Almost There, Boss. This is Bay Colt, April 27th colt, perfect time. Sunshine Beach. Now, first foal from a Dragon Again mare, Skittle Hanover. Now, this is important. Skittle Hanover is a sister to Steelhead Hanover. And you might say, what the hell is a Steelhead Hanover? Well, if you're anywhere east of Ontario, you probably know who Steelhead Hanover is. One of the nicest colts in Canada, unbeaten horse from the Maritimes, is a Steelhead Hanover. Steelhead Hanover died after his first year of breeding and had an incredible crop of 2-year-olds in the Maritimes. Steelhead Hanover is well on his way to maybe, from at least the indications of his first crop, being a real, what you would almost say, a generational sire for the Maritimes, where it really looked like he was going to make a massive dent in the Maritimes. So this colt, Almost Their Boss, is out of his sister to Steelhead Hanover. Now, Steelhead Hanover's sister is the mother of Down by the Seaside. If you guys know these pedigrees, you know this is an extremely strong pedigree. You could go on, I'm looking at 9, 10 horses with black type hair in the front. Now, in fairness, one of them's got 48,000, 120, 300,000. That's the second dam. Third dam, best of luck, 26 wins. Spender Hanover in the second dam, 46 wins. Tons of money, tons of speed. You got a great sire who's a brother to the mother of this horse. Young mare, first foal out of a Dragon Again mare, who's a sister to Steelhead Hanover. Great video, great pedigree, great confirmation. Almost There, Boss. I was hesitant. You know, we gave, I think, $28,000 or $30,000 for no free lunch. So I wasn't really sure. I said, geez, I'm not, you know, we're a little depleted after Lexington, after Ohio. We got much gas left in the tank? I said, geez. And I'll tell you a funny story. This was the second horse I bid on of the day. We'll get to the first one in a second. But this guy, I was getting off the airplane. I was deplaning. I was trying to get picked up. I was trying to, now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the day. I just got the news about Jason in the middle of the day, so I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what the hell I have to do. I'm thinking back. I don't want to put anybody else in danger. Was I around Jason? Do I have to, you know, do I have to quarantine? What are my protocols? And I talked to the Ohio Harness Horse Association, Renee, and I talked to Amy Holler and spoke to them and told them what my movements were over the last 3 weeks. They said, no, you're fine, which a little weight off my shoulders. I still felt terrible for Jason. But as all this was going on, the hoof bid sale's going on. So as I was coming out of the terminal, reading my messages, there was 2 minutes left. I had just noticed, I knew I had time. There was 2 minutes left. Now I had bought Wi-Fi on the plane, so I knew what was going on. It was 12 minutes, 10 minutes. So right at 2 minutes, I hadn't bid on him yet. At 2 minutes, he was at $15,000. I bid $15,100, an increment of $100, and I forgot about the horse. I'm reading the Jason message. I'm reading this, and I'm freaking out. Now I got to go to Philadelphia and race the horse. I'm worried about when I get to Philadelphia, what am I expected to do? So I'm a lot was on my mind at that moment. I forgot about Almost There, Boss. I didn't think about it again for an hour and a half. I'm getting ready to go race the filly. 7th race ends. I'm getting changed. I see my phone. I said, I wonder how much that horse brought. Click on it. Hoof bid. Oh, I got him. $15,100. One bid. And somebody messaged me, a former client of ours messaged me after and said, what were you going to on that Sunshine Beach? I said $15,100. He said, what? I said, I made one bid and I forgot about him. I forgot about him and walked away. So we were very fortunate and very lucky to get him. You know, considering what the market will be like. It's been very hot in Ohio. It was hot in Lexington. I suspect the London sale might be strong. You know, I didn't know what hoof bid would offer, but I think $15,000 for this pedigree, for this horse, the size of him, I think is probably on the low end. I've known about this horse for 5, 6, 7 weeks, maybe more, and I forgot all about him until today. So a little fortunate, a little fortuitous on our part, but we ended up with Almost There, Boss. Now, the first horse I saw the day, as I was looking at the hoof bid thing this morning, I open it up. Better Than Cheddar filly. You can see she's a little small. So I didn't get to see this filly. So we knew the owner of Almost There, Boss. And Daryl's going to keep a piece of the horse, which is always great for me. It always makes my job easier. Now, Jessie Ballore, I looked up Better Be Sawyer. I was trying to get all the information I could on this horse. I'm going to tell you why. Good. I liked her pictures that they had on there were really nice. Maybe not as informative as I like, but they were really nice pictures. So what I couldn't see was her conformation, was her size, a good gauge. So I simply I texted Jessie. I said, hey, that Better Be Sawyer filly, you know, is she a big filly and what's her conformation? The conformation is great. She's about a medium-sized filly, which is probably right because I know most of this family. Dreamfair BJ in the first dam was a very nice horse. Travis Cullen had this horse. I think Carmen had him also. 15 wins. Let's just set the whole. Let's start from the top. Now, this mare is a no pun intended mare. She's a sister to sister to the mother of Dreamfair Eternal. Dreamfair Eternal made $2.5 million, and there was earlier in her career before she made any of that, and she was just starting to get good. A young trainer by the name of Anthony McDonald trained Dreamfair Eternal. Very nice filly. She used to make breaks back then, but she always had a ton of speed and was a very, very nice filly. I actually trained her sister too. What was her name? Dreamfair Eternity. She only made 70, but she was fast too. So I know this family quite well. I've driven most of them. This mare, Dreamfair Orchid, as I said, no pun intended mare. 5 foals, all 5 have made it to the races. 4 of them have taken marks. Now the 2-year-old this year, the 2-year-old, who's a big Jim, paced in 52-2 this year, has made, and only made $3,500 at the time of cataloging. But this was a 2-year-old big Jim that paced 52-2 as a 2-year-old. So all 5 out of this family raced. 4 took marks. Dreamfair BJ, 49-2, 270,000 made. Dreamfair Dahlia paced 54-2, 30,000 made. You know, a very good family. Look back in the second dam. Dreamfair Eternal obviously jumps off the page. Dreamfair Vogel, for those of you who have been around a while, Dreamfair Vogel was exported to Ireland, I believe, to stand stud, which isn't great, but he was a good horse in his own right. Took a mark of 49-4 as a 3-year-old, 49-3 as a 4-year-old, $1.179 million made. Dreamfair Koivu, another nice horse, 51-3, $236,000 made. Here's a horse Harry had. Dreamfair Van Dam, 151-3, $121,000 made. Anyway, I think you know where I'm going with this. An incredibly packed pedigree page. Just look him up. Her name is Better, Bettor, better than Cheddar. Better B. Sawyer. Just a beautiful filly. Really excited. If you put it this way, if we were in Lexington and a Better Than Cheddar, bred this well, looked as good as this filly come through the ring, would you give 12, 13,000 for it? So we have 15 Canadian for it. So do the math. I think both horses we bought today were well under budget. Was that hoof bid? Was that just the timing of the sales? Was it the difference of the online stuff? I don't know, but I was very happy to take full advantage of it, and I think we did very well with both of our purchases today. So we've had a great week so far. I mean, Jason hasn't had a great week. I guess he'll have a great week next week when he's over COVID and he can walk around at least knowing there's a much smaller chance he'll ever get it again. I know there's going to be people saying, "Oh, there's no reports that say that he won't." It's unlikely. How's that? Let's just leave it at that. So I know he's throwing up. I know if you watch this video, Jason, I know you're throwing up and you feel like crap right now, but rest assured you'll feel much better next week, both mentally and physically. So we're having a big week. Globetrotting, Northern Blizzard, No Free Lunch, all winners. None of them made as much as our girl Aglaire M today. Finished second in the Jim Simpson, going for $56,000. Cavill Hanover keeps things rolling in New York. And Brilliant Corners, still, you can't take anything away from this horse. He had a good year. We're going to put him away with a mark of 54, and hopefully he comes back as a better horse next year. So as we start to move things around in Ohio, I guess a week might turn into 2 weeks before we're out of here now. I know I was planning on sneaking home this weekend. That's not going to happen. So I'm going to have to, myself also, as I said in my Facebook post tonight, I'm going to get tested once, maybe twice, just to make sure. Last thing any of us wants to do is bring COVID-19 home with us. So that is that. A little bit of an odd week as far as the stable, as far as our personnel goes, but as far as our horses go, they are smoking this week. We got more horses racing this weekend again. Horses entered. As I said, I was planning on taking next week and going back home, but I want to make sure I get this test done. Theoretically, I can get the snap test done, I guess. I don't know how you have to do to qualify for that, but anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. I'll likely be talking to you guys tomorrow. Those sales do start. The London sale starts tomorrow. The win-back sale is in person tomorrow. I'll be in touch with Mario early in the morning. I know we have 7 horses to look at. We did buy 2 today, so maybe the purse strings get tightened up a little bit for tomorrow, but we will see. So, for those of you following along, if you want it in on an Ontario bred, we got a pace in Colt, we got a pace in Philly. We'll see what we get tomorrow. Take care.